Welcome, everybody. I am Jen. I am the host of the Conscious Love Attraction Tribe here on Sacred You. And today we're going to be talking about the human journey. So these conversations inspire, innovate, ignite conversations that count, or we really have them to inspire you guys. We're going to share self-empowerment tips. We're going to share different ideas so that we can really go deep into the topic of the human experience, why it's so important to understand this, and how we can reconnect to who we actually are, so we can flow into our creative genius, flow into being the person we want to be and living our true nature and purpose. So, like I said, I'm Jen. I'm the host of the Conscious Love Attraction Tribe. And today we have with us ANICK, and she is an intuitive business mentor, voice healer, TEDx speaker, and international bestselling author. She's created her own unique modality called voice tapping. She specializes in helping empaths and spiritual leaders, heart-centered entrepreneurs embody their highest lucrative joy so that they grow their business with ease, flow, and make more money and have way more fun. So welcome, ANICK. I'm glad you're here. You're going to have a lot to add to this topic. I'm excited. We have Jo IRWIN. So Jo IRWIN suffered from deep depression. And after a series of events, she had emotionally hit a wall and she was struggling to get through the day. She was a single mom of 4 children and was taking control of her life. She had been on a path of spiritual development already, and she was trying different modalities and alternative healing methods to pull herself through when she stumbled across a nutrition company, which truly turned her life around. So she took this journey in the wellness and personal professional development world, and that led her to discover the intricate workings of the human behavior, the mind, and its power to transform our past experiences into our future desires. She is a trained NLP and hypnosis master practitioner and uses these skills to help ambitious women who feel stuck to rediscover their true self. Welcome. You're also going to have some amazing insights to this topic. I'm so excited. I can feel the power of this topic for a lot of people. It's going to help. And then we have Elizabeth. So Elizabeth's whole world changed when a psychic told her, "You can do what I can, but obviously you don't know it." This opened a door to 7 years of intense training in past life regression, which led her to exploring the many layers around vibrational frequency, energy, and dimensions. She also discovered the link between the science of quantum physics, epigenetics, and the vast realms of alchemy. And it was here where she stripped many layers of trauma and emotional dysfunction and remembered her spiritual sovereignty. So after 25 years of evolving through spiritual practices and techniques, she is now a qualified magnetic mind coach, welcome, and founder of the Women of Light movement, guiding women to the superconscious intuition, divine wisdom, and creative genius. Accessing the sacred aspect of our consciousness is the ultimate reality shift in living the life you were placed on earth to experience. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So first of all, I want to say, before I get into the topics, I want to let you guys know in the audience that if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. We are looking at them on Facebook Land and all the other things. Victoria, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. Happy to answer. We're going to go deep today, and let's get started. So the first question I want to ask you guys is, when we really first delve into our spirituality,
and Jen's just frozen. Can you
start
hear
living
us?
from your creative genius.
Okay.
And flow into your true nature and purpose. Yeah.
Okay, you did freeze, so you might have to start that one again.
Okay. Sorry about that, you guys. My question is, when we delve into our spirituality, we start to understand that we're really much more than we originally thought. So how do you connect with that power, then integrate that into the human aspect so we can start living in this 3D world, and start living from our creative genius and flow into our true nature and purpose? So we'll start with Jo IRWIN.
Okay, hi everybody. Wow, that's a huge question, right? Because it's actually a journey, so it's forever changing. And for me personally, it was, the tragic situations that I found myself in that made me search, that made me look for something out there that was bigger than me, that could guide me. And through that, and I guess the inquiry and asking the questions, what would show up for me would take me to my next step. And now I look back, I know that they're called divine. For me, they're called divine breadcrumbs. So following those little breadcrumbs to where I needed to go. However, for me, it was through desperation and, you know, seeking the answers to, you know, how I can live a better life, particularly when I was left with the 4 children. You know, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, you know, find a way through this and step into that place where I can, it was a survival really at the time. And I was divine. I just felt I was divinely led just through asking the questions. So connecting with that, I guess that deep listening part of you, or that in a way for me, it was like that desperate part that was asking, you know, please show me the signs that I need to get to be able to move through this, past this. And it was an interesting journey, and it's been a long one. It's been 38 years, and I'm still asking, you know, what is the next part of this journey for me personally. And there's so many components which I feel like we're all going to get into very deeply today, and processes and practices that I've learned along the way. So what was the other part of that question?
The other part was really, how do you connect? But you answered that. So I think you pretty much answered. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, thanks, Jen. It's an interesting question, isn't it? Because we all get stuck in our identity and who we think we are. But most people that I have, connected with have this inner knowing that there's something more than ourselves. And so I agree with Joe, you know, a lot of what was happening for me, or how I came to a lot of my discovery of myself and my higher calling and my higher self, came through adversity, came through challenges, came through the dark nights of the soul. But it doesn't necessarily have to, right? We can just have this feeling that there's more to us than what is this limited, you know, my limitation's called Elizabeth, right? And so the more we limit ourselves or think that this is all that we are, the more we get stuck in our old programs, in our old behaviors, in our old story, but we can be so much more. And so what I've discovered is one of my superpowers that I used to hate so much when I was younger is my innocence. I was really, really innocent. I felt like I didn't know what was going on the planet, and everybody else knew, and all of these things. But then I discovered that actually that innocence is what kept me moving forward. The questioning, you know, how is this happening? What is that? How can I, tap into this? And we all have a natural ability to do it. We often think that what we see outside of ourselves, you know, people might be talking about their guides, or they might be talking about the angel realms or whatever, and you think that it's somehow something that you're disconnected to and you don't have. But I would guarantee that any of the listeners, if you've been drawn to this actual session, then you have an innate way that you're doing it, but you do it so naturally that you're not even aware of it. And so my innocence is what guided me and kept me, you know, growing in my heart center and moving into those divine breadcrumbs that Joe was talking about, you know, those incremental steps that just support you to live in your higher wisdom and your intuition.
Awesome. Thank you. And ANICK, you're up.
I'm up. Okay, that's a really deep, deep question there. Great answers. I love listening to Elizabeth and Jo. Really, so much wisdom there and life experience behind that. That's for sure. I guess it's an ongoing journey. It's well, that's my belief anyway. Like, being a human and discovering that you have a soul, a higher self, that you are not the stories and the mind chatter, the stories you're telling yourself in your head, that you're not that you are, once you for me, it's my journey is in the heart. Like my heart was shut down because I was terrified of being a human. I thought the world was completely nuts, and I thought I didn't feel safe and I didn't feel loved. And it's the basic. If you don't feel safe and you don't feel loved, the first thing you want is like, I want to get out of here ASAP, get me the F out of here, right? So that's the core of little unique ANICK. People call me unique ANICK. I'm unique. We're all unique, but we're all the same and all unique at the same time. But so I didn't really want to be here. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel safe. So it took me a near-death experience, like a massive illness where I lost like 25 kilos, like for the Americanos, you don't know what kilos are, but anyway, probably about 50 pounds. I became like a stick, toothpick, and I lost all my capacity to be, I couldn't eat alone. I couldn't walk by myself. I mean, I came back to being a child, like being in needs, being, requiring a lot of support and kind of starting from scratch. And when I decided, okay, I'm going to give it a go, I'm going to give it a really good go at living. I choose to be alive, but I'm going to make it worthwhile. So, not an accident that I teach people about joy, about embodying joy, finding your bliss, because that's why I've been put on this planet. Simple as that. Like I got clear. I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to make this journey an epic journey. I'm going to make this journey an authentic journey, an inspiring journey, and I'm going to give the best that it's in my heart as a human being, with the help of my team, my team being angels, being Mother Mary. I channel the energy of Mother Mary, but also being humans that I draw into my field, because humans, we're here to support one another. And so so yeah, your creative genius is an ongoing, it's an ongoing process to tune in and listen. That's what we need to master, is the capacity to go within and the capacity to receive by listening, not from a head perspective, from a mind perspective, but from an open heart, being able to receive from an open heart. And it's constant practice, there's a lot of tools I can give you there, but, for me, nature is one of my greatest guides. Going in nature, being in nature, connected to nature. I'm going to stop here because I could do when you turn the button of unique ANICK, she's on. When she's on, she's on. And morning is my best time to channel. So there you go. Okay, I'll pass the microphone, the magic stick, to someone else.
Thank you. So that actually helps me flow into the next question, which really is, for the people who are going through a rough time right now, the people who maybe are just starting out on this journey, or just dipping their toe in the waters, or maybe they feel lost, passionless, they're confused. What tips and techniques, maybe one or two tips or techniques to kind of start them on this, to help them really refocus, right? Reconnect with that. So they're able to listen to their intuition and able to reconnect to that and create from that place. And so we'll start with Elizabeth first on that.
The first thing I would say is that you really need to know what it is that you want to create, right? You want to know, what is it that I want to experience in life? Because we're really powerful beings, and there's a lot of influences out there in the world. There's lots of people trying to get you to be a certain way. You know, your parents, your partners, your children, your friends, your family, the local, you know, petrol station wanting you to buy 2 Snickers because for the price of 1. You know, there's so many things out there that are trying to influence us to be in our limitation. So the very first thing I would suggest is, first of all, know exactly what it is that you want to create, and you know, live in that. Do a meditation. Find out what it is that your highest capacity is, and then create that as a beautiful statement that you then wake up every morning and make that choice. You choose that every morning. Today I choose this. And you sit in that, you feel the energy of that. Jen, your you know, conscious law of attraction, that's exactly what you're doing, right? You're drawing that energy in, you're being it right now, you're experiencing it in your body, and asking yourself, what is the obvious step for me to take today that's going to incrementally move me with those divine breadcrumbs that Joe was talking about into living and breathing that and experiencing it now. But you've got to make the choice consciously every single day, because if you don't, then other things will influence you outside unconsciously and you won't even be aware of it.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So definitely first step is focus. Where's your focus? What are you choosing today? Thank you. ANICK, what would you say? So the question, yeah, no problem. The question is, for someone who is maybe feeling lost right now, or they're having a hard time, they feel passionless, they're trying to figure it all out. Do you have any like tips or techniques, maybe 1 or 2, to help them reconnect, you know, to refocus, so that they can connect to their creative genius or their intuition and the higher understanding? Because if they're in that place of, you know, just total confusion or hardship, or the questioning things, you know.
Yeah, I hear you there. Yeah, it was beautiful, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, you sound like you're from what's his name, William White Cloud's tribe. I love what she said. Yeah, the power of question, and yeah, knowing what you want to create. But it depends where the person is at, because if you're still in your trauma, I have a trauma background. We all have trauma background. I have a trauma background. This doesn't define me now, but depends to what degree you're stuck in the mud. You know, if the mud is like you can barely breathe, or, you know, if you're just still walking in the mud a little bit, you know, like it depends where you're at, really, because the tools, not every, like what Elizabeth shared, it's not for everyone. Depends where the people are at on their journey. Because if you're stuck in your traumas, if you have the mud up to the neck and you're about to really drown, I might not be the best guide for you, you know, because I'm further up in the journey. You know, like I'm climbing the Himalaya, and I'm, you know, I haven't reached the top yet, but I'm 3/4 along the way. So look, one tool that I can share that that feels really juicy for me is, we're in the body in the first place. So how do you feel in your body? Are you feeling tensed? How are you feeling in your body? And to move you from the stuckness or the tension, this is a very basic tool that we all can do. You can do it with little kids. And I had a dance business for 10 years. So the truth is revealed. Move your body. Move, put some music. Everyone has access to music in the you know, in the Western world anyways, and even in the third world, they can sing, they can use their body to make percussions and use their voice. Move, put the music on and move. I do that every day. Shake it and move it, and that will put you in a different vibration. That will get you out of your mind chatter, stuck in the mud, and, you know, in judgment, in fears, and we all go there. Even if we're like nearly at the top of the Himalaya, we all go there. The journey is ongoing, as I said before. So that's one tool that I'm going to offer you. Move your sexy body. Even if you don't find it sexy, I promise you, you will feel better. So the aim is to feel good. The goal is to feel good. So that whatever makes you feel better than what you feel now, you score.
Awesome. Thank you. And Victoria says she listens to music daily. So that's awesome. You're resonating with this, Victoria. And if you have any questions for any of the panelists, please let us know. Jo, your turn.
Yeah, wow. I love it. And that's my first call of action is move my body, move my stuff. And I did a lot of the Anthony Robbins over the years. And his tools was, move, you know, you break the state, break that, you know, response that you normally have in the body to get you out of the head and keep moving. So absolutely beautiful. And also, Elizabeth, the meditation, or just, you know, listening, deep listening. And I agree with all of those. And for me, I was casting my mind back to when I was in that place, that stuck place, and knowing what I know now, everything that happened to me up until that time, and even times after that, I was acting from my trauma, acting out of my trauma without realizing. And it wasn't until years later that I realized, wow, when I learned more and more and more that, you know, I was living my life from a trauma place. So I feel like just, you know, really stopping and recognizing the parts of you that are not you, that aren't your true essential you. And knowing that, what you said, that, you know, about the part that, you know, just gets stuck in the head and the thoughts and then that follows the actions, you know. So being aware of how you are playing your life out, and obviously knowing that that's not the true you, not how you want to play your life out, and definitely knowing where you want to go. As Elizabeth said, knowing what you want instead of that, because we continually cycle into knowing what we know without really and doing the actions of what we know. So we really have to start reprogramming this mind that's running the show, these traumas that are running the show, and just being present and asking the right questions. What's my next step? And often we can't even get there, because sometimes, you know, depending on where you're at, as ANICK said, you know, in what level of the mud you're sitting, you know, sometimes we cannot get there in all the things that are running through our heads. So for me, it's about just being present, even when I'm doing things, like being present of recognizing what I need to do next, but being present in the mundane stuff so that I can get those intuitive downloads, that information that wants to flow through, and asking the right questions. And that has to come with the body also being in a relaxed state. All right. So taking those moments to spend in that state of relaxation. And have you ever noticed when you're in the shower or in the bath or walking in nature, you get those light bulb downloads of information? That's when you have to really deeply listen and take those action steps for what it's telling you to do. Yes, Victoria's saying she does, we all get them, but we're often so caught up in our head that we're not listening. So taking opportune moments to really have an intention, right? Having an intention every day to listen to what's coming through, the information that's coming through for you to be able to take those next steps. Yeah, because until we relax and release the stuff that's held in our body, in our physical body, from our traumas and our past experiences, we cannot receive. All right. So I guess where I'm going here is making time to relax, making those intentional time to just relax so that the body can release what's coming up to receive. 3 steps process. So I hope that is helpful.
Thank you. And I just wanted to do a quick shout out to Tali. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, dance is always the answer, right? Elizabeth, you had more to share.
Yeah, I was just thinking and tuning into the question and the responses we've all just given, and thinking about the trauma, you know, that I went through. I've got similar stories to both these other 2 ladies on the panel. Single mum at one stage. I've had a brain tumor removed and 15 centimeter fibroid. Like I've had all of those things, right? And when you're stuck in a way like that, we can tend to identify with the trauma and think that this is who we are. So I just wanted to extend and share that it is not who we are. We think that it is. We think that we're broken, but we're actually not. And so if there is anything else, like if you're really stuck and you can't get, you know, you can't think of a choice, you can't find yourself dancing, you know, all of those things, reach out to somebody that you know can support you, that's not going to judge you in any way. Reach out to somebody and get some help, some guidance, and, you know, find someone that can be a mentor, not necessarily a friend that's going to hook in with you, but somebody that can guide you to just get out of that mud, clean it off a little bit so that you're on the back on track. So just wanted to add that in.
Thank you. And then I just wanted to add something that's coming up for me when we're talking about this, is that, you know, if you are really stuck in the mud, sometimes, you know, even just researching books or going on YouTube or podcasts or checking out people, what for some reason it's coming up to me right now, but people like Brene Brown on YouTube, she has a whole thing where she talks about shame and vulnerability, and you can start there, and then that'll lead you to another speaker, that'll lead you to another book. And so there's a lot of things too, if money is an issue, you know, and all this, because I know that it can be, you can do the library, at least in the US, you can do a free ebooks and audiobooks through the library. And so that's been really helpful to me. But again, YouTube, Facebook, all these things, there's a lot of free information out there. And just if you set the intention that, you know, you want to search for something, it'll come to you, right? And then just like this person will lead you to this person, which will lead you to this person. And then you start going deeper and deeper and deeper. And so that's what I wanted to offer for that. And now I guess the other question that's coming up, or actually would be on shame. What would you guys say to this, again, saying in this, if we're really stuck, to release some of the shame of being where you're at? Because I know shame is not helpful, but shame has been a recurring theme in my life. And so letting it go slowly, right? How do we begin to just let that go so we can move forward? Because a lot of times that's a huge block. It's just that shame spiral, the shame and the guilt. So who wants to start with that answer? If you guys have any tips or ideas on that.
Okay, I'll jump in. If that's okay, ladies. I'm going to say that, you know, it wasn't until I owned what I was feeling, whether it was guilt, shame, non-deserving, all the parts of me, and allowing that to just be present and seeing where that came from, that it wasn't mine, Okay, it was something that was carried through from generation to generation. And this is, I guess, is all part of doing the work. And, I'm a deep diver and I go all in, and going back to the piece of what Elizabeth was talking about there, and that thinking that that it is us. Yeah, it's so, I just want people to know it's not you. It's not how you were born. How you were born. You're born in love, out of love, and you are pure love. And to remember that, right? To remember that you're pure love. For me, I was blessed at the time and didn't realize, even though I thought it was my own stuff, I was part of an ashram where I used to go with the children and chant and release, and and that led me to, as she said, as Annika said, a book or somewhere that, or I think it was Jen, somewhere that was the next step for me. And my next step was someone presented me with Louise L. Hay's book. This is like 38 years ago. You Can Heal Your Life. And that was where I started, right? Wow, I can heal my life. And using those tools to dissolve all the beliefs and, programming and emotions that have been stuck in us from generation to generation, that truly isn't yours. And yes, some of it would have come through, you would have had those, decided those things in a time of trauma, or whatever happened to you, you might have decided that that's identified with that feeling. But there is ways to know that you can move through that without holding it for forever and living your life from that place, because often we are living, as I said, we are living from those places of shame and blame and guilt and not good enough, and just start to heal yourself slowly, incrementally, by diving in and finding out what it is that there is for you to really see and know that it's not yours, and release it. And that has to come from, again, the relax, the stillness, the releasing, the grounding, all the stuff, all the things that we teach. And I'm sure we've got many that, well, there's many tools that we can use. So that's what came through for me.
Awesome. And then I just want to say we have a quick question from the audience. So Sunny says that she feels like she gets stuck, or I feel like I get stuck in the reading, researching, and asking, but find it difficult to move into action. So what would you say to Sunny? How would you move into action if you're overwhelmed with all the information you're getting, and it's just like, where do you even start?
Yeah, absolutely. I would start with just moving away from the information and just start listening to yourself and just sitting in that, go in nature and just sit, take the time. Okay, you could spend 2 days, but in stillness and getting the information and feeling the release, rather than spend the next 10 years in the information. Okay, so I guess doing the work, getting in nature, sitting still, asking for help, getting support, all the things that the ladies are talking about here, but taking yourself away from what is not serving you, because we can go on that loop of continually telling us that the information is telling us there's something wrong with us. Okay, there's nothing wrong. Okay, just take that time to be with yourself and learn. These emotions have information. They show us things. They tell us things that we need to know about ourselves, good things, right? And so making that time, stay off the technology, just go inside and really sit in nature. Because I believe that in grounding in nature, sorry, ladies, I've taken over a little bit here, but grounding in nature and then connecting with your higher self is the fastest and easiest way to get the shifts, to get the releases. So making time for that. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's just do it.
Awesome. Hey, and Elizabeth, what would you say?
Shame's a big one, isn't it? It's one of those things we so get caught up in our pain and that we've done something wrong. And the first thing I would say is to recognize that we're doing the best we can in any given situation, in any moment. And not to be so hard on ourselves, but also that often we can have made decisions from our childhood about certain things that then keep playing out over and over and over again. And so recognize, and like we've got all this influence outside of ourselves from, you know, the very roots of our cultures and the way the world has been separating ourselves from that higher source, God, the God source, right? So we then see, you know, culturally as well, we can have the belief that somehow, you know, we're limited and we're sinful and we're, you know, we've done the wrong thing and we're always going to be like that. But that's identifying again with that small self, with the, you know, I'm Elizabeth, you know, the limited being that calls it, labels themselves something, right? Whatever your name is. But when we can actually just breathe and remember that we are actually connected to everything and that the beautiful source energy is us, that we are part of that, and that connection is full of, you know, love and appreciation and gratitude. And just slightly, you know, when you're in shame, it can be really hard to feel anything else. But to, you know, to go into the question in the audience as well about how do I get out of reading and getting out of the books and experiencing it, is being aware that we're externalizing everything. Everything is like us and them, right? And disconnecting. When we can just go back into our heart, and because all of that's the mind stuff, right? I'm not capable, so I have to read what other people have done. When we can actually go back in, and as Joe was saying, you know, if it feels right, go into nature if you can. I was speaking on something like this once before, and the woman was saying, I live in New York City and there's no nature. And I said, hey, behind you is a plant, right? Connect to that plant. You don't, if you haven't got anywhere that you can go, it's all concrete, connect in with the plant, you know, like that might be in your house or, you know, something like that, and go back into your heart center. So even if that means holding your heart, putting your hands on your heart to give you an anchor, and start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. As simple as that, just breathing, and even breathing that energy out, like actually breathing out with a noise and imagining all that energy that is not you, any of the shame, any of the anything that you feel is toxic, imagine it breathing out through your mouth. And as you breathe in, you're breathing in that beautiful connection to love and to your higher self and to your guides and all of that sort of stuff. And just breathing, that's going to support you to come back and be present and let go of all of that stuff that isn't you. And if tears come, then allow those tears to come, right? And just let it happen and release it all.
Thank you. Thank you. ANICK, you're up.
Beautiful. So much wisdom in this room. Oh my God. Yeah, it was a beautiful process. I did it with you a little bit. So yummy. Well, shame. Yeah, shame is a biggie. Shame is huge. it's interesting. I made a vow recently. Actually, I made a vow, like a promise to myself, out loud, nice and clear, naked in the mirror, like super powerful. I'm going to be witnessed by quite a lot of people here. So I made the decision and the vow that I will never make myself wrong ever again. That's freaking huge. It took me all these years in my sexy body to get to that clarity of like, wow, okay, I've already been tested, I can tell you that. But shame is we make ourselves wrong. And what we do is we give our power to others to decide for us. We give our power that, you know, like if we're wrong, it's this constant crazy conditioning, especially for women. We're a bunch of women here, especially for women, to put other people first, as opposed to say, I deserve to be multi-billionaires and I'm worthy to be successful and I choose myself and I can have the most gorgeous husband, sexy, and I can have the house, I can have it all. And I can be on the top of the Himalaya and be provided with the oxygen that I need. I'm worthy of that. I go to the extreme here, but just to, it's this kind of, we constantly make excuses and put other people first. And we learned that from very little. We learned that, I mean, it was here before we got here. It's ancestral. It was here like way back. And this has to stop with us. With our voices, with the consciousness that we have, it has to stop. And we have to be the example by embodying the work. If we're not embodying the work, we're in the imposter syndrome. So I made this vow just very recently. It's very interesting. I'm loving this conversation so much. That I will never make myself wrong ever again, even if I make mistakes, even if I don't show up for myself. I'm not perfect. I'm human. The conditioning is coming on and back and 2 steps forward, 1 step. It's a cha-cha-cha. It's a dance. You dance a bit there, you move forward, and then, you freeze. And then you go back and then continue, you dance. And a fear comes up. And then someone says something that triggered you, or did something or didn't do something that triggered you. And putting yourself out there, like just the way I dare to speak, you know what I mean? Like I actually moved from Canada to Australia, so to follow the sun, but also to be myself, because I didn't feel safe to be myself around my family. You know what I mean? That's one way to look at it. But I'm sharing that with you because we do all sorts of funny things to avoid feeling and to avoid claiming and naming our desires. And because we don't want to feel shame. Shame is uncomfortable. We have, as the two, Joe and Elizabeth said, you got to allow the emotion to move and be able to sit with the discomfort, but don't dwell in it. Because as I said before, the goal for you is to feel good, ASAP. Because it's a vibration, and when you're in that vibration of feel good, you magnetize goodies. But when you feel shit, you magnetize more crap. It's simple and it's a practice. It's a practice. But shame, so much compassion. Look, I mean, I grew up in I was made wrong, whether I was successful or whether I was in my shadows. Whether I make a mistake, I was wrong anyways. So most of the time I was wrong. So I thought, okay, well, hence I wanted to leave this place. But yeah, so the acknowledging it's okay. Yeah, acknowledging the shame. Oh, yeah, I'm scared of being made wrong, or I don't want to be wrong, so I'm gonna hide instead. That's the safe place. We're gonna hide. So instead of hiding, sit with it and show up anyways. It takes courage, but show up anyway. It's a practice. It's a practice, showing up anyways, even in the discomfort. But that's how you're going to create your desires. And that's really how, that's how you're going to magnetize more goodies. It's in the showing up, starting by showing up for yourself. Yeah, I'm so passionate about this. Oh my gosh, can you tell? Yeah. Yeah, it's a journey, but it's and not believing that what your mind is saying, not getting hooked on the, oh, my voice, oh, here's the voice, that's also a practice. But yeah, then crank up the music, sing, and yeah, or use your voice, sing. I created a modality, voice tapping, and that's been really like a game changer for me, big time. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop.
Thank you. So Tali says that shame is a social collective ideal that I really wish was confronted more often, because I would rather be my own judge than to have to judge myself through others' masks. And then we have another comment. Sunny says, yes, completely agree. I need to go within rather than always seeking from external sources. The looking externally comes from a place of lack of trust in myself and my capabilities, which I am working on. And then Tali says, I'm nodding vigorously. Please do more of these. So yeah, people are really resonating with what you guys are saying. So this is awesome. Thank you all for being here. I guess now would be a good place to let you guys know if you guys have any offers that you want to put out to the community. If you have anything you want to add, last little bits of things you want to add. We'll start with ANICK.
Okay. Well, yeah, please do connect. I think our links are all going to be underneath the videos, right? Sophia's always a genius at that. And well, what I would love to offer is I'm offering a group program, Play Powerfully and Prosper. So that's going to be super fun. So if you want to know more, book a call with me and see, we can see if we're fit, if you vibe with my energy. It's all an energy thing. So if you vibe with the energy coming through, please do book completely complimentary, free of charge conversation with me. My Calendly will be down there, my link tree. I've got lots of things coming up. I've got Voice, Elevate and Connect, which is a networking event. I do a double solstice event that's going to happen in June. Like lots of juiciness. But the next big thing is the group program, Play Powerfully and Prosper. So join that. And I've offered voice tapping, my modality. I didn't get the chance to really elaborate on that. That was not the place for it, but I offer powerful sessions on voice tapping. So yeah, just book a call, check my link tree, and reach out. Don't do that alone. You don't mean to do that alone. Reach for some help and come and play, and I'm here to serve you 100%. And thank you so much, Jen, for hosting. Great job. So nice to meet the ladies. I'm going to connect with them. They're amazing. And thank you, Sophia, for Sacred You community. I love this community. Amazing. Thank you. ANICK, PATRY, unique ANICK. Bye for now.
Joe.
Absolutely love your energy, ANICK, and you're right, everything is energy. We all vibrate at a frequency and attract each other, and yeah, and having that safe space to be able to support women or men, and having and because safety and security is the #1 human need, right? But support, getting that support is the next, I believe, and having places that you can show up and feel that you are safe to just be as you are, to heal whatever it is you want to heal. So thank you for bringing your beautiful energy. For me, I'm actually the host of Empowering You Tribe in the Sacred You community, which is a beautiful place for you to come show up in a safe space, and we work through, you know, all the practical things, but also a little bit of the spiritual, metaphysical stuff that is going to help you move through whatever it is that you need to. So that's every fortnight, every first month Wednesday and fourth Wednesday, third Wednesday. Anyway, we'll look it up. Tomorrow, so tomorrow, third or fourth, I don't know. Anyway, that is happening. Also, I have a 4-week Reset for Success program that I work one-on-one with you to really kickstart from where you're at to move you through. And I also work with frequencies to help support that as well. So there's lots of good, juicy stuff. But yeah, I'm around. Any questions, any support you need. I've got lots and loads of freebies. I'm in the middle of creating one that was the 30 days to thrive. I did 30-day live every day for 30 days with a tip that you can you know, utilize in your own life that will support you. You can, I'm creating that freebie at the moment, so when that's ready, I'll let everybody know it's available. So yeah, lots of stuff. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Sophia, Elizabeth, and ANICK for meeting you. Beautiful women. Totally agree.
And Elizabeth.
Yeah, thanks, Jen and Sophia, for hosting. This has been lots of fun. I will also have my link tree, so all the stuff in there, and there's freebies in there. I've just come back from Sydney Mind, Body and Spirit Festival. It was 4 days, pretty intense work there. And I have on Friday a 3-hour masterclass called Vision of Wild, and it's going to be supporting people or women to actually really tap into what their highest capacity is in their innate nature, right? Like, we all are wild in our essence, meaning not necessarily crazy wild, but the beauty of living in our intuition and connecting with our higher self and all of that, you know, expansiveness that we really are all moving into, all that consciousness that is coming to that we can all access now. And so Vision of Wild is going to be giving us a shamanic journey so that we can move into what it is that we're really, our highest capacity is, where we are on our human journey. I'm going to do a process called recoding, where we're going to clear all of the stuff that gets in the way of actually living in that authentic space. And at the moment, I have a special on with that because I've just finished MBS. So for the next 24 hours, it's going to be a little bit cheaper. So I'll make sure that that's on my link tree as well. I'm pretty sure it is. I'll just make sure my team's got it on there. And so if you just go onto my link tree, you'll be able to go in and access that. But thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure listening to the wisdom of the other panelists, as well as having my opportunity to be part of this has been beautiful. So thank you, all ladies.
Thank you. And I just want to throw it out there, if Victoria has any questions for anybody, or if anyone out there has any questions for anybody. But thank you all for being here. I appreciate you for being here on this panel. It's been great. I really feel like there was a lot of wisdom that was shared today, and people are going to get a lot of benefit from this. So thank you guys very, very much. I'm going to give the ball to Sophia so she can talk about Sacred You and how to join us.
Thank you, Jen. And wow. What a wonderful panel discussion. What an amazing thing. I've been here putting everyone's links in with our beautiful Angel, who's also been putting everyone's links in and listening to it. I'm honoured to be able to do this, to be able to sit here and listen to it all. It's wonderful. We've had some really great comments, those that have been put in the chat, but also Julie Nelson is saying hi to everyone, and that she's agreeing that, yes, she is a wild woman. This is her personal mantra. So thank you, Julie, for joining us. Thank you, Tali. Thank you, Sunny, and everyone else. We've had quite a few people who have been doing it, and including someone is also saying that they've loved the Mind, Body and Spirit Festival too, Elizabeth, so they've been there as well. So thank you. Jen, before we do wrap up, tell us a little bit about you and your tribe that you run on our sacred community.
So I am the host of the Conscious Love Attraction Tribe. We meet every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific. I believe it's 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Time right now because of daylight savings and all that. And we really go into basically a lot of things we talked about today, like, you know, figuring out your true choice. What do you want to create? Looking at where you are now, looking at what's in the way, focus, unconscious mind, meditation, and all of these things, so we can stay focused on what we want to create. We can stay focused on where we're going. We can get the support and to refocus, because it's really not about how often you stay focused, right? Because everyone's going to fall off. It's about how often you refocus when you fall off track. And so it's a way to come back every week to reconnect, celebrate our wins, because it's important, because a lot of times we forget that, oh, wait, maybe I did have a win. Maybe this is improvement, right? Because we're so programmed to look at the negative and what we still need to do and what we still need to accomplish, that we forget the small little things and we don't even see them as like wins. So, you know, I really hope you guys join me again every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Australian time.
Thank you. And thank you. And definitely, I do recommend that tribe, as well as Joe's tribe, the Empowering You to Live Your Best Life tribe, and Jen's tribe and Joe's tribe is just part of everything that is available on Sacred You, our sacred community. We have over 20 something tribes, about 26 or 27 for the last count, that you can join just for $1 Australian. Trial everything out just for 3 weeks. You get to go to whatever tribes that you like to, and then after that it's only 15 Australian dollars a month. So do click on the links below in the comments. We also have lots and lots of panel discussions coming up, including the next one in 2 days' time is mindset and mindfulness. So do come and join us for that. Check on all the links in the website and come and join us. Come and join us, because we're here to support everyone. We're a platform, but so much more. We're a platform to offer connection, and so much more: connection, empowerment, spirituality, anything like that. So do come and join us. And again, thank you to all these beautiful women who have joined us. Tali is just saying thank you all, and thank you, Jen, for putting this together. These are the kind of community events that are positive and progressive, that I think would really balance out the increasing negativity in our society. Thank you for that, Tully. It is really, really appreciated. We are honoured that you've been able to join us today and that you've got some benefit from it. So come back again, join us again. And for everyone out there, again, really honoured to be part of this today. Thank you.
Thank you.